Welcome to the Dial Tone. You've reached Z. I'm adventurous, sexy, intelligent, and ready to blow your mind with the tea.
What's up? It's your girl X. I'm unfiltered, unbothered, and ready to spill the tea.
It's Aziza. I'm loud, sexy, and edgy, ready to seduce the tea.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Dial Tone. How we doing tonight, ladies?
So good.
Amazing.
Amazing. I'm doing well myself. Let's get into it. Our topic for tonight is, do we, as Black women, feel protected by our Black men? Not just our fathers or our brothers, but Black men as a whole. Ladies, our thoughts.
I could say I'm very close to my father. I'm a daddy's girl. 1,000. So the men in my family, I feel very protected by. You know what? In my experiences, I think I have felt protected by Black men. There have been times where I've been disappointed by the lack of action by Black men when it comes to Black women. Yes. But I feel like personally in my experiences, I have felt protected. But I think I don't know. I feel like there are times where Black men disappoint me when it comes to how they act towards Black women. But I have seen white men do the same thing to white women. Does that make sense?
We're at a point that we think this is just a male problem.
I feel like it's an Americano problem. Like,
now that isn't that.
Yeah, I feel like the way they interact, you know what I mean? Like, there's shit that white guys do to white women, and I'm like, okay. And Black guys have a similar thing that they will do to Black men, but I feel like that's an American thing.
So I also kind of relate to that. I think in my personal experiences, I am also a daddy's girl. So I felt protected by my father, my brother, all of them, and the men that I've dealt with. I don't think I've ever not felt that. I think there's a large group of Black men that throw us under the bus, but I see that more so in other people's experiences or on social media and stuff like that. I don't know if I've experienced personally white men talking down about white women like I've seen Black men do to Black women, but that's just my personal experience.
See, here's the thing. I too am a daddy's girl.
Oh,
okay. I don't have any actual older brothers, but the way my family dynamic is, I feel like I don't know if I can say I've got a lot of guy friends, and I know that if, push came to shove because of who I am, how long we've been cool, I would hope they wouldn't let nothing happen to me. But it's more so of a hope than it is a matter of fact, I know. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's probably one or two that I can say, you know what, I do know. That nothing, I had a crazy friend in high school who I know for a fact would do anything and everything for me. And it would not matter. It scared the shit out of one of my boyfriends one time, rolling up to his job. And so I get it. But now, like, as an adult, as a woman, I wouldn't say yes, because I can't say that I wouldn't fear a random Black man on the street, depending on where I'm at, what time it is, what's going on. I wouldn't say that just because I'm out in the streets and I see a Black man and he's the only one there, that I'm instantly going to be like, that's the person I'm going to talk to, because I know I'll feel the safest around them. I can't say that. No. I can't say that, I would know to go to a Black guy and be like, hey, pretend to be my boyfriend,
But does it come down to race? Is it a race? Is it because they're Black? Because, for example, I had a situation with a friend or someone who I thought he was my friend, and he was Black. And we went out to a club. It was me, one of my girlfriends, and him. It was a good time, and it was like late, and so we were about to leave. And I was like, are you gonna walk us to the car? And he was just like, no, y'all got it. And I was like,
Oh, no.
okay, because he was like, well, my car is all the way over there and your car is all the way over there. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
well, if you walk us to the car, I will drive you personally to your car. And this was like a friend since I was in high school friend who
Right.
was just like, nah, you good because you got her. And I'm just like, oh, but I don't know if I would boil that down to because he was a Black man, and if I was a white woman or something else, he would have done anything differently, or if it just comes down to character and person.
Right.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And in that respect, no, I would not say it has anything to do with race. But I do know that, okay, for me and my experience, this is gonna sound so bad.
What?
I
Is it
You're Black
something?
man?
I do not find Black people to be the most friendly and or to make me feel the most welcome and or at home with. So in a general, as a whole, I do not actually say I would feel protected even by, okay, not you two in particular, but even Black females.
Oh, I relate to that comment.
So it's like to say that, do I feel protected? When you say protected, I don't just mean like, will they keep me from being raped? I'm talking about, do I feel protected? Meaning like in any situation, I know if I looked at you and we the only two in here, me and you got each other's backs because of that. Nah.
And I feel differently. Anytime I'm in any situation, like we go out to school or something, and it's a few of us, and then the rest is people of different colors, we go migrate to each other. For some reason, it's just like, and here we are, the group of the only Black people in here. But
Right.
you're saying that you wouldn't feel that.
I mean, even when the gravitational pull is just there because that's what happens when you get grouped and pegged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't instantly feel that sense of home. No, that's not there. It's more so, okay, what do you want? What are you here for? Are you really being nice to me because you're actually nice, or are you just faking it? And when are you gonna start doing something that's gonna like hurt my feelings or be mean or do this or do that?
So you must have had that experience.
Just so much. And even with being the only Black kid in a school and there being only one other Black person, a Black girl or Black boy in the school. In first grade, I'll never forget, I didn't realize it was another Black girl in my class until I saw my first grade class picture years later. And I was like, who the hell is that little Black girl?
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't know if my brain just didn't register that there was someone else who looked like me. I don't know if it just maybe I realized we were both anomalies and I, like gravitated towards the masses, instead of towards the singular, you know what I'm saying? Like that thought process went in there. And then once I got to an all Black school and I wasn't the only Black person there, didn't feel welcome. didn't get any camaraderie. So now my brain just goes into a mode of no matter, even when I go to workplace, I've been in workplaces and where it's all black in the back of the house, and I'm instantly treated not even in that, oh, we just hazing you kind of, because your new thing is more so, you're not the Black we were expecting. Like that's how I get treated by Black people all the time. So like I said, would I instantly feel like, oh, I can trust this person to protect me, to watch out for me? I would hope that if something was happening, no matter what, a Black person, just because we Black GP's sake, would do it. But to say that in a setting where I would have to get to know people and they would know me, and would I say I wouldn't be trusting. I wouldn't trust, no. Like the whole like, oh, you're gonna videotape me to make sure I don't get, killed in public. I do expect us to do that. But that's because at this point it's what we have to do. I don't know if it's because, they want to protect me because I'm me, or if it's just because I'm Black.
Hmm.
Either way, protect me.
Like,
But either way, protect my ass.
I mean, I
you
feel
know-
like that, but like that's the thought process I guess I have.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah. I can see that perspective too, Z, because growing up, I wasn't really the typical Black either, but like I wasn't accepted like that, but I don't know how to explain it.
Can you give a definition of typical Black?
Like I wasn't okay, so I listened to
Stereotypical
dubstep.
Black.
Yeah, exactly. Like stereotypical. Like I listened to dubstep. I was in theater. I was in the arts. I didn't wear the labels. I was doing off the stuff. I didn't do step. Any of that stuff.
I can't step. I have no
that
rhythm.
stereotype of you are part of our community because you can do these things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, when I say that, that is a child's perspective, because this is our childhood self trying to understand where we fit in society. As adults, it is very different, but some of us do not evolve from that.
Right.
But as a child, I can relate to that. I think for me, at one point, I was just like, I noticed, I don't know, I noticed I didn't care anymore. Like I was just like, I'm gonna just be Aziza. Like, and if that, I don't even care if that makes me alone. But I think for me personally, if I was scared, I'm gonna ask the Black person what's going on. I'm gonna be like, are you okay? Because what's going on over here? Like that's where my initial instincts would go to. But that's if I ever felt threatened or anything. Like if I see Black people running, I'm gonna be like, what's over there? Like,
I'm not even gonna ask.
Now that's
I'm just gonna be like, oh,
that's
we
not a
run.
question. I see Black people running. I know to get the hell on. What you mean? There's certain things that are just, I guess you could say no. And I mean, I get the fact that for me, I realized that I've gotten to a place where even as an adult, these same childish mindsets, these same things are still happening.
Yeah.
They're still being done. And so it's more so, I've learned that, no, you're right. I'm going to be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be Z. And I hate it or love it. It's still an obsession.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get that. But like when you say, oh, would I trust a Black person? Like if I wanted to run out for help and my option was a Black person or a white person or an Asian person or a Indian person, I would ask myself what situation I'm in before I would actually say who I would feel the most protected by or who I would say I know I would run to for help. Because my brain doesn't work in the sense of I just instantly feel secure around somebody just because I know they're like me. Does that make sense? Like my brain doesn't say, oh, they're like me, I feel secure now. No.
What my brain does is definitely automatically say I don't feel secure. And white people have had a reputation of making me not feel that way. So I don't know if the first person I'm gonna run to is gonna be a white person, because somehow some shit might get turned on me. And just like you've had your experiences with Black people, I've had my experiences with white people when I was in college. And I used to meet some bomb-ass white people, like friends in class, or I thought they were my friend. But I learned very quickly it was just like a classroom friend. So they wouldn't hang out with me outside of class, regardless of if I was inviting them anywhere. I was like, yeah, let's chill. It was like, nah, I'm not kicking with you outside of these four little walls here. So I don't know if I feel the safest with white people.
Well, see, I see what you're saying. And I think that like, okay, so for me, I put white people in degrees of white people. Like there's types of white people to me. Just like I believe there's types of Black people too.
For sure.
So because of that, like I said, depending on the situation, certain white people do scare the shit out of me. I will not sit here and lie. You know what I'm saying? Like but for me, because I know instantaneously when I see a white person that, depending on how they look, how they act, and how they approach, gives me a sense of whether I should feel insecure or secure.
Shouldn't
And
that
my
be with everyone though?
Yeah, well, because I don't like to be I'm an observer. So when I walk into I love to bar hop. I used to walk into bars and I would scope it out at the bar. I would sit there and I'd look at everybody and see who they are, like watch them. I get, you know what I'm saying? A people watcher. And then once I felt comfortable, depending on who was sitting next to me or what they were doing or who was behind me, because I would watch what they were doing and see if what I saw around them seemed like something I would be into, B, something about them intrigues me, like maybe their hair, their clothes, you know, their earrings, something I could start a conversation with, all that stuff to be in there with. And see, even when I went to college, I wasn't friends with none of the white kids on my campus. Like none of them. But that's because I realized there were a certain type of white people. There are that Southern white people that you can never tell whether they're being fake or genuine. And I was like, well, I'll just stay away. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was the ones that did gravitate towards me, and I was cool with them in a sense, but I knew for a fact we weren't friends. We're not friends. I know we're not friends. We may sit on this bench and smoke our cigarettes together and kiki and laugh and joke, but I know these white people would never take me home to meet their parents. You know, I know for a fact that, you know, and that doesn't hurt my feelings because it's just a reality of the world that I've gotten used to. Just like I guess I gotten used to the reality of the world that Black people will always treat me differently. And so it's the reality of it that I live with.
But isn't that the same idea that only certain groups of Black people will treat you differently, or is this Black people as a whole?
Ooh, this is a hard thing to say. I would say at times it is truly a certain set. And I know them upon sight. You know, so this is not a situation where I don't know what I'm dealing with. But it makes me weary of, I guess it has always made me weary of Black people because no matter where I've gone, they're there, you know? Like, it's not even like I can sit here and say that it's not a good chunk of us that's like this.
So you can feel that there's a certain group of Black people that make you feel a certain way, so that makes you wary of all Black people. But there's a certain group of white people that make you feel a certain way, but you're not as leery of all white people.
Well, no, not all white people, because I guess when it comes to Black people, I learned from an early age that I can't trust you, not to like me and not to have my back. And because of that,
what I'm hearing is I think Z has some childhood trauma.
Most likely.
With the Black people that we gotta heal.
For sure.
I think that's what it is, because you love me. You know, and I think what it is there's some childhood stuff that is still like, you still have that flagger that's like, there go that bitch from 3rd grade who said I was weird because I liked Harry Potter. You know what I mean? And
no, I get that because it's real.
Yeah. It's still people that are like that as adults, that like, I remember singing Sounds of Music and somebody told me that stop singing that white people song. I was like, it's a classic.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Real life, and you're just like,
yeah, there's adults that are still like that, but I think, yeah, that's what I think. I think there's.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like because there's still adults that are like that. You say like it's my childhood trauma. It is my childhood trauma, the whole 100%. But it's because it's never ended. Does that make sense? Like, instead of it being something that was only done in my childhood.
Because yes, 100%. Well, what happens is when we have a childhood trauma that we don't heal, we constantly see evidence of it everywhere. So it doesn't matter until we heal it. Like, for me, one of my childhood traumas was, so feeling almost like I had to super prove that I was good enough, right? Or I had to super prove that somebody was always against me. Like, I always felt like somebody was against who I am or against what I was doing. Like somebody just wanted to see me fail. That was a childhood trauma of mine. As an adult, somebody could be doing something so innocent, right? And I'm like, oh, look at this shit. Look at, you see that? But it's because that childhood trauma wasn't healed. I was constantly triggered. And if I don't heal it, the trigger's going to get worse and worse and worse, I think.
Well, no, I do believe I'm healing it.
Yeah.
In the sense that, one, I do not expect to not be able to trust and or feel secure around Black people. That's not the case. It's just that I've learned to stop instantly thinking they're going to hate me. I finally gotten to a place where when I do meet a group of Black people, like I recently started my job, my new job, and the entire place, we're all Black women.
Right.
Which is the most daunting thing I have ever been through in my life. Okay. Like
it was hard for you because you're seeing trigger.
And I'm like, okay, Z, calm down. They don't all hate you.
Yeah.
You need to calm your head. And I do. And like, I'm cool as hell with my teachers. Like, we are all, it is great. And like, don't get me wrong, I do believe that if anything were to pop up, these women in particular wouldn't have no problem with having my back. They seem cool. We have a good repertoire. But the thing is, I've never had that with, like, to instantly walk in somewhere and have a instant repertoire with Black people, let alone Black women, where we're like friendly and not that catty friendly, not that fake friendly, not that, I'm trying to upstage you friendly. I'm just trying to get the dirt on you friendly.
If you already come in and you're like, oh shit, it's a bunch of Black women. It's like, it's already number one, a guard up. For me, I think people have thought that about me even before they got to know me, like, who she thinks she is? Or if I said, hey, or whatever the case may be, they might have said it like, oh, she being fake. And I was like, oh my God, that's the realest hey I could give you. So I think when we come up with like our defenses, like who won? Who got something to say, then you're gonna see it, and it's gonna manifest itself because it's already something that you came in on defense. Like, this is I don't trust this.
No, I feel that, and like, and that's why, like I said, I've gotten to that. That's why I'm actually happy. Like I said, I love my new job. Okay, shout out to it. Y'all don't need to know what it is, but shout out to it. Okay. I think that if I were in a bar and felt uncomfortable with someone who was advancing on me, I'd probably find the nearest sort of bulky white guy and ask him to be my boyfriend. That would be something I'd do. If I felt like I was being like, like I felt like I needed a girl to be there in the situation, depending on the situation, it would depend on who's there. And if it's a decision between a Black girl or a white girl, depends on the situation. Like, am I dealing with something that I would need a Becky to be a part of so that she can call the cops and act a damn fool for me? Yeah. Is this a situation where, I need somebody to beat somebody's ass because I can't fight, or at least I don't know if I can. I've never been in a fight, so I don't know. But the point is, I probably can't. So do I need to clone on that chick? Like, that's how my brain
and I think it takes letting go of the stereotypes to get there, because Becky could easily beat somebody's ass, and if somebody was going to call on me, somebody's going to call on me to do that because they thought, oh, there's a Black girl, she's going to beat their ass. They got the wrong Black girl. No, it's not me, not me, baby.
People think I can fight. People literally, because I'm broad shoulder and stocky, they're like, oh, this chick can fight. I know she can fight. I know. People tell me all the time, I'm like, I've never been in a fight, and they are shookest. They're like, you've never been in a fight? No, I value my life. Ain't shit worth my life. We ain't got to fight about nothing. So, what you mean? I ain't never been in a fight because I can talk my way out of anything. What do you mean?
I can talk my way out of a paper bag.
What do you mean?
So perception is key, and it's not always what you think it is.
And what you perceive is only what you are like. What someone is allowed to perceive. Woo. That part. Yeah. So, ladies, it is time for PC time. All right, guys, this is Pop culture time.
Okay.
All right, ladies.
But I gotta like,
Kanye was out here in the news recently because not only has he decided to take over the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and turn it into his own private little space and studio, he is now going to Joel Osteen's church
That's his
and
boy.
telling the mass indoctrinated that Hollywood is subliminally mind raping their children.
When in essence, that is what music and the church do constantly. But is that another topic for another time? I don't know.
But I mean, I'm just saying, that's something you're talking like, thank you for A, stating the obvious, but B, for stating it to the one people in the world that are the most oblivious and indoctrinated ever. Like, what do you mean? Like, what was the point? Wasn't he calling himself Jesus? Not Jesus, but actually calling himself Jesus. So I just have so many questions. Like, are we on the path to Jerusalem? Like, what are we doing here? Like, is this a stop? Like, I need to know. Like, what are you doing, Jesus? What are you doing?
I feel like Kanye is a creative genius. I do. That man is so talented and he's smart. But one thing I have noticed is people who are so headstrong on the beliefs that people tell them versus looking and observing for themselves are the easiest to manipulate. And I think Kanye knows this.
Yes.
So he says, I can say whatever I want to this group of people, just like Donald Trump.
Period.
You're right.
Period. And it's all about mind control. And we've realized how easy and moldable these minds are. So it doesn't take much. If you just say in the name of Jesus, trust me, you got him.
You got
somebody was knocking at the door in the name of Jesus.
You got him. That's all you need.
I just want, just like with Donald Trump, I got it. I was like, this is great. This is the best reality TV we've seen in a long time.
But not really.
I appreciate the entertainment. The entertainment.
I don't appreciate it. It would be better if it was reality TV and not our fucking
now
lives.
that part. No. I would love if it was
did.
not sex. Fuck Donald Trump. But I think what was ingenious about it was that we as Americans were so indoctrinated by that lifestyle, by that thing, that this is how this actually works. I was like, don't worry, I knew it would happen, but it was like, are we that stupid? No.
Yes.
I don't. And then I was proven wrong. We are indeed.
The fact that he was ever president proves how stupid of a country we are.
Well,
what I will say, I'm grateful for Donald Trump's presidency. And I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. I'm a spiritualist, right? So
yes.
Every time you are changing, right? All the junk gotta come out. Every time you purge, all the junk you gotta detox, right? Donald Trump became president. You found out the homeboy you were with friends for 6 years is a racist. Donald Trump became president. You find out the CEO of the company you've been busting your ass at has Donald Trump 2024.
That part.
Whenever you elevate in consciousness, the universe gives you an opportunity to see low vibrational bullshit. And I think that's what Donald Trump presidency did. It didn't make the rich rich. It didn't make the poor poor. That shit has been going on regardless of who's president.
Facts.
But it did purge these motherfuckers. It sure did. I'd rather see the racist you are than for you to,
Yeah, no. I'd rather you be the racist you are than you lie to my face. I appreciate that. Yes.
But at the same time, it made them bolder.
That part, and that's what I don't like. Like, it's one thing for you to sit here and say, "Hi, I'm a racist." Fine, whatever. But it's another thing when you get a lot of pot.
Like, you're running me over with your car.
Y'all ain't just claiming to be racist. Y'all out here, you trying to bring back the 40s and the 50s. We ain't got time for it though. That's the part.
You keep that.
You can keep that right there in the past. We can make America. I don't know when it was great, but we can keep it where it's at. Is what we can do.
But is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing to see how bold people are willing to get?
Yes, because at the end of the day, humanity is corrupt and malleable, and because of that, what was done was it gave a sort of freedom to people of a certain sect of white people, to be honest, and even
And some black
barely
people
enough
too.
black people who felt and needed to express their opinions in this way, and it gave them that voice. Like they felt like they were heard and seen for the first time. That's why they stormed our Capitol
and ready to act out. Before then, they didn't have that battery in their back. So it's like, well, they might have felt some type of way, like, yeah, I don't like black people, but I'm not about to do anything crazy about it. Now it's like, well, he's the fucking president, so damn sure, Skippy, I'm about to do some crazy shit. Because there should be no consequences for me. Nah.
But that's the point, and that's what I'm saying. They feel like with my president having no consequences, this whole man done all the shit while president. Okay,
Yeah.
We're not talking about just little things. No, the quid pro quo, the scandals with the women and and your wife. It's just all of it. The tweeting, the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. It's like all this is happening while he's president. He's getting away with it essentially. And these white people out here, and I say white crackers because that's what they are. That's what they are. I'm sorry, white people that I know, we know. Okay, but the crackers, you got to worry about the crackers. They out here doing too much.
Yeah.
Someone needs to talk with them.
I feel like, and I get how them storming the Capitol and all these things were very traumatic to Black people too. It brought up a lot of emotional trauma because when your ancestors have dealt with slavery and segregation, that still lives in our emotional DNA. So that fight or flight will come up. I 100% agree with that. But being able to expose that our Capitol was rushed by racist white people.
The big lie. What do you mean?
Are we really protected?
We're gonna have some really good conversations coming up, you guys. I hope you stay tuned. This has been the Dial Tone.
Hey.